Hi, we're Group 4, and we're going to be presenting on the 9 elements of digital citizenship, and we're going to be talking about the 21st century learners. So right now there's a vast change in our educational world, and it's because of technology. So one of the elements for digital citizenship is digital access. Digital access is the full electronic participation in a society. So this is, does everyone have internet access? Well, technology provides opportunities for a large number of people to communicate and interact very quickly. But not everyone has access to the internet or to technology. A couple of groups that don't have access include socioeconomic status, those with disabilities, and a physical location. So if you're in a rural area, you may not have access to high-speed internet. So some things that we can do as educators is make sure that everyone has access to technology within our classroom. So if you have computers and a student needs to access an essay, make sure you give them access. Another thing you can do is if they have electronic devices, give them access to the devices within the classroom. And this is really tough for some teachers to do, but it helps with giving everyone access within the class, especially if you only have a couple of computers. The second element is digital commerce. Digital commerce is the buying and selling of goods and services using the internet, mobile networks, and commerce infrastructure. So this includes buying things online, like Cyber Monday, when everything's on sale and you buy toys, makeup, clothes. This is digital commerce, so we want to make sure our students are educated and they're understanding what they're doing. It's not just play money that they're just buying things and it shows up to the house. It's actual money that they have to have in order to buy these things. So we don't want them to end up in debt. We don't want them to run their parents into debt. So it's very important that we educate our students on digital commerce. And the third element is digital communication. So digital communication is the electronic exchange of information. And this is extremely significant in education. It's allowing us to talk to people from around the world at any time to communicate educational ideas with each other. Another thing that we have to do as educators is inform our students. Whatever we do or communicate through the cyber space, it stays there forever. So for emails, texts, pictures, if we put it into the world of technology, it stays there, and they have to understand the consequences of some of their actions when it comes to technology.
Okay, hello, my name is Eric Nunez, and I will be discussing digital literacy, digital etiquette, and digital law. So the American Library Association defines digital literacy as, quote, the ability to use information and communication technologies to find, evaluate, create, and communicate information, end quote. So examples include 1, being able to use diverse technologies appropriately and effectively to retrieve information. 2, interpreting results and judging the quality of information. And 3, understanding the relationship between technology and personal privacy and information. So in my opinion, digital literacy is important in reference to education because technology is constantly evolving, and acquisition of this skill represents a student's process of lifelong learning that expands beyond academic walls. So as educators, it is our responsibility to promote digital literacy by putting the proper utilization of digital tools and technology right on par with reading, writing, math, and science. So digital literacy in the 21st century is no longer a luxury, but rather a necessity for success. So pursuing this line of reasoning, we bring up the topic of digital etiquette. So dictionary.com defines etiquette as, quote, conventional requirements as to social behavior, conduct as established in any class or community or for any occasion, end quote. So in respects to technology, we must maintain the same standard of conduct. So as teachers, we must promote a culture of high technology use while minimizing poor technology etiquette. So examples of digital etiquette in the classroom include having students and teachers muting or turning off their electronic devices like cell phones, tablets, laptops, etc. So as professionals, we must turn off our cell phones so they do not interrupt the learning. of our students, and students must turn off their devices because it simply takes away from their education. So again, as educators, it is our responsibility to develop students into citizens who recognize appropriate or inappropriate behaviors in the 21st century. So now, if we fail to develop students into quote-unquote good citizens, they do not respect digital law. So Digiteam.com 2016 states that digital law is defined as the electronic responsibility for actions, deeds, which is either ethical or unethical. So digital responsibility deals with the ethics of technology. End quote. Therefore, as digital leaders, we need to communicate to our students that causing others harm via identity theft, hacking, illegal downloading, plagiarism, etc. are all real crimes that may be punishable by law. So now that we have discussed digital literacy, digital etiquette, and digital law, I will turn it over to David, who will continue our discussion on digital citizenship.
Right, and our next element for our digital citizenship is digital rights and responsibilities. Now this involves two parts, digital rights, digital responsibilities. First one, guys, is going to talk about a basic set of rights that every user has when it comes to digital technology. Rights such as the right to privacy, the right to free speech, and etc. Second part is digital responsibilities, guys. And since the internet's comprised of user-submitted information and websites, it's also the responsibility of the users to make sure that the content that's online is appropriate. So we need digital rights and digital responsibilities to work together to be able for everyone to be productive online. Our next element is going to be digital health and wellness. Internet addiction is real. Now, you have people out there dealing with eye stress, repetitive stress syndrome, and sound ergonomic practices. All right, and this is pretty much where we have to educate each other so that way we can learn about the dangers of technology. A lot of people aren't too familiar with all the dangers that could be found with technology, so we just have to get out there, spread the word, talk about it, and move on and learn. And the last element for digital citizenship is digital security. Now this has to deal with antivirus software, protection from malware, let's see, backups of our data, that's external hard drive backups and cloud storage as well, and also surge control from our electronic devices. So just like we would have house locks on our doors at our homes, we also need to protect ourselves online from identity theft and other people out there that are trying to pretty much bring harm to our lives. Next up is Destiny with...
Thank you, David. Okay, I will be presenting on 21st century learning. So I will turn my camera over, make sure you guys could see that. Okay, so 21st century learning. So let's find out more information. What is it? Okay, so skill focus. Basically 21st century learning is, the focus is on creativity, critical thinking, communication, and collaboration is essential to prepare students for the future. Creativity and innovation, critical thinking and problem solving, as well as communication and collaboration. So those are the skill focuses for 21st century learning. So the framework for 21st century learning, it's developed, number one, with input from teachers, education experts, and business leaders to define and illustrate the skills and knowledge students need to succeed in work, life, and citizenship, as well as the support systems necessary for 21st century learning outcomes. Second, it has been used by thousands of educators and hundreds of schools in the US and abroad to put 21st century skills at the center of learning. So that is the skills needed, and that is the framework for 21st century learning. Okay, we have now the P21 framework represents both 21st century student outcomes as represented by the arches here, okay, the rainbow and support systems as represented by the pools at the bottom right over here, okay. While the graphic represents each element distinctly for descriptive purposes, P21 reviews all, and P21 actually just means partnership for 21st century learning, okay? It views all the components is connected in the process of 21st century teaching and learning. success. The elements described below right here, okay, these two links, are necessary to ensure 21st century readiness for every student. 21st century standards, assessments, curriculum, instruction, professional development, and learning environments must be aligned to produce 21st century outcomes for today's students. The elements described, okay, so these are the outcomes for 21st century. The elements described in this section as 21st century student outcomes, the part that was represented by the rainbow, are the skills, knowledge, and expertise students should master to succeed in work and life in the 21st century. Mastery of fundamental subjects and 21st century themes is essential for students in the 21st century. These disciplines include, right here, content knowledge and 21st century themes. In order to master these themes, they really want you to focus on English, reading or language arts, world languages, arts, mathematics, economics, science, geography, history, and government and civics as far as the content knowledge. Those are the main themes that they want you to focus on in this framework. Number two, learning and innovation skills, and those include global awareness, financial, economic, business, and entrepreneurial literacy, civic literacy, health literacy, environmental literacy. Third, information media and technology skills, information literacy, media literacy, ICT literacy. And fourth, life and career skills. And in this category, we have flexibility and adaptability. We have initiative and self-direction, social and cross-cultural skills, productivity and accountability, leadership and responsibility. And our next slide here is a lot of information, so I'll just get brief and share the most important components. So the 21st century support systems, they're critical systems necessary to ensure that students master the 21st century skills, and I shared those earlier. 21st century standards assessments, curriculum, instruction, professional development, and learning environments must be aligned to produce a support system that produces 21st century outcomes for today's students. So right here in the first section here of support systems, we have the 21st century standards. So just to name a few, focus on 21st century skills, content, knowledge, and expertise is going to be one of the priorities. Build understanding across and among academic subjects as well as 21st century interdisciplinary themes. Emphasize deep understanding rather than shallow knowledge. And I'll move on right here to a second support system, which is assessments of 21st century skills. Just to name a few, these categories, we have bunch of assessments, including high quality standardized testing, along with effective classroom formative and summative assessments. Emphasize useful feedback on student performance that is embedded into everyday learning. Moving on to continued supports. The third 21st century curriculum and instruction, what falls in this category, is an emphasis to focus. It wants you to teach 21st century skills discreetly in the context of key subjects and 21st century interdisciplinary themes. Second, focuses on providing opportunities for applying 21st century skills across content areas and for a competency-based approach to learning. Okay, moving on to the fourth century support system, century professional development. So here it highlights ways teachers can seize opportunities for integrating 21st century skills, tools, and teaching strategies into their classroom practice. So as you can see, the main theme here with the framework 21st century learning is basically teaching the students how to master the skills. Second, here it focuses on the balances direct instruction with project-oriented teaching methods, illustrates how a deeper understanding of subject matter can actually enhance problem solving, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills. Okay, next slide. This is the final support system to enhance building the skills. We have the 21st century learning environments. So our environments are always important, especially for trying to implement the 21st century skills. For the environment, they want you to be able to create learning practices, human support, and physical environments that will support the teaching and learning of 21st century skill outcomes, support professional learning communities that enable educators to collaborate, share best practices, and integrate 21st century skills into the classroom practice. Okay, So for additional resources, there's a lot of information online at Framework for 21st Century Learning, and then P21 Framework Definitions document is also available as a PDF. That basically concludes our presentation, again for Group 4, for our 515 class. Thank you.